As we are preparing to start the first conference ever for Endo Black, I just want to say thank you all for purchasing tickets, for your constant support. It means so much to myself as well as to the team. I just want to say thank you to all of you. And before we bring Art and Erica up, I just want to share with you what Endo Black stands for. Endo Black Incorporated is a nonprofit organization that focuses on advocating for African American women and women of color affected by endometriosis. We have 4 goals that we stand by. I will not go through all of them, but the main goal that we focus on is to make sure that we are providing a safe atmosphere and to also create sisterly bonds. I want us to remember, if you don't remember anything else from this conference, that the goal is to raise awareness on endometriosis affecting people of color in the community. So without further ado, I'm going to allow Art and Erica to join us. Hi. Oh, this shirt yellow. I love it. Hey, Erica.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. How y'all doing? How's everybody's day going? Good.
Everybody is doing well. I'm doing well, I should say.
I have the chat open, so I try to keep it open too. So I can see
that's what I'm trying to do, multitask. Well, let me first just share a little bit about Erica and just want to introduce her very briefly before we start. I want to say thank you to Erica. I don't know if she knows this mainly, but when I first started my conquest of Endo Black Incorporated, she reached out to me to do an article. And that first article kind of set the tone for how much I really wanted to be involved, what I wanted to do. And it had so much positive feedback that really motivated me and encouraged me to do amazing things. So I want to say, on here, thank you so much for what you do. Thank you so much for being, who you are and actually wanting to change the world by writing. I know that journalism is not always a glorified career, but is an important career because you tell the story for so many people. So I want to say thank you. And as well as I want to say thank you to Art, because you reached out to me and you were ready to work, do anything, basically support Endo Black with whatever. And you didn't even know, I don't even think you knew that we were planning a conference, but it just fit in at the right time. I was like, oh, we got Art. Okay, let's figure out something. So I just want to say thank you so much for just reaching out, connecting with us, sharing our stories, even though we know endometriosis is not fun, but it is something that bonds us together. So I want to say thank you. Really quickly, I just want to introduce Erica. Erica Renee Williams is an award-winning writer, communications consultant, and an advocate. She is the founder of a weekly lifestyle and wellness newsletter called The Erica Edit. A passionate supporter of women's issues, Erica recently launched The Forefront, a community for Black women and women of color committed to social justice initiatives. Erica was diagnosed with endometriosis in 2018. She often uses her platform to raise awareness and tell her story of living with endo. So with no further ado, this is Erica. Thank you so much.
Can everyone hear me? Lauren, I'm good? All right. Lauren, and thank you for just being you. I could go on, but I know that we're pressed for time. So I don't want to, go too far into, but just thank you for what you and your team do. This is so needed. This is a space for us that did not exist. So thank you so much. But I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited about the entire weekend and just right now to speak to Art. So Art, we are so happy to have you. Just to introduce Art. Art is a singer, songwriter, and Endo sister. And she's a pop soul artist. Art Auré is a classically trained vocalist, songwriter, and music producer from Washington, D.C. She's one of those gifted graduates from the prestigious Duke Ellington School of the Arts. Throughout her music career, she has learned to sing in, get this, 6 different languages. Impressive. Art has prepared to enter her own spotlight by opening for such superstars as Kanye West, Miguel, Faith Evans, just to name a few. In 2020, Art released her single Keep On, which was selected by the group Black Women for Biden as its theme song leading up to the November presidential election. Art has been featured on BET Networks, Fox 5's Good Day New York, Music Choice, MTV, Netflix, and so much more. But as a woman that has lived with endometriosis her entire life, Art is using her platform to raise awareness of the condition that affects at least 1 in 10 women. Art, we are so glad to have you.
Hi, Erica. You look so beautiful. Thank you all for having me. This is so exciting.
Oh my God, you're so, is everything about you just so colorful and happy?
It is.
But it's really, really good to speak to you. And I wanted to start off by just acknowledging your song, Keep On. I think that song, Good Times, all that's a great song. And Keep On is just, I've deemed it kind of the unofficial song for the Endo conference. Lauren didn't tell me to do that, but I made it the unofficial. It's so uplifting. And it's so much so that it was chosen as the theme song for Black Women for Biden. Tell me a little bit about how that opportunity came about.
So I released my song Keep On last summer during the pandemic, and we had music that was ready to be released. We've been working on my album for a couple of years, and I had my endometriosis surgery in 2019. So I've lived with endo my whole life, but finally I just built myself up to get the surgery. And Keep On was the very first song that we wrote after the surgery. And I walked into the studio, myself and Ronnie Collins, the producer and also the co-writer of the song. And I said, I have this thing in my mind: tough times don't last long. You gotta keep on, keep on, keep on. You are much stronger than you know. And then he just added on to that. And I was like, you know what? I've been going through a lot. And I know that there's a lot of people that also are going through stuff. People are always going through something, and with my struggle with endometriosis and my chronic pain, it's like, I have to tell myself sometimes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what Keep On is all about. It's a song for anyone that's going through the struggle. And of course, with Black Women for Biden and the whole presidential campaign that was coming up, they heard the song, my team sent it over and they were like, oh, we have to get this onto the program immediately. And since then we built a relationship. They've had me back for a couple of different performances, and yeah, I'm just thankful and grateful for that.
And you mentioned that that's the song that you wrote after your endometriosis surgery. What exactly were you going through physically and mentally at that moment? Because you've struggled with endometriosis all of your life, but in that moment, what were you going through? What was your mental space, physical space like that inspired those lyrics at that time?
Well, the thing is that with endometriosis, our symptoms change day to day throughout the day. So for me to say, I remember exactly, at that moment while we were writing, I know I was okay, but we've learned as endo warriors to kind of let our pain and everything that we're going through subside, and just put it to the back burner and just get to work, At that moment, I just was feeling, in a place where I needed help. After the surgery, I thought that all of my symptoms were going to go away. I thought that after living with endometriosis for 20 something years at this point, it's like, it's not going to go away after all of this time and, me going through this and me building up myself to get the surgery. It didn't. My symptoms actually changed and got worse. So prior to having my endometriosis surgery, I would get PMS maybe a couple of days prior to coming on. And then it started to turn into 7 to 10 days of what I call burning pain on my stomach, like someone's pouring a boiling pot of hot water on my stomach. That's how, it just got super bad. And then after my surgery, the symptoms turned into 7 to 10 days, my cycle, and then done to every single day I was on, medication because I was in so much pain. I was popping the naproxens back to back, taking turmeric, ginger, everything I could, doing yoni steaming, everything. I tried Depo, I've tried this, and nothing was working. So I got on another birth control, and I end up a few months later, actually, going to the emergency room. I thought that I had appendicitis, or like my appendix burst. And I never felt this pain before. And it happened to be a ruptured endometrioma cyst on my left ovary. So this is something I'm going through on a constant basis. It's not just like, okay, once a month, or it was every day at this point. So it had got really bad. And I just kept moving. I kept going with, my music. Of course, that's not going to stop. But every now and then we do have to take a break from, what we're doing. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, absolutely. You actually answered a few of my questions, because I really wanted to learn a little bit more about your endo journey. So for me, I was diagnosed in 2018, but just to
Mhm.
hear, even though the symptoms were there well before then, but to hear that you've suffered for so long. And that's why stories like this are so important and I'm excited to hear about all of the stories that all of the other women will tell
Me
this week.
too.
One panel that is specific to business and endo. And as a budding songwriter, singer, entertainer, how has endo affected your career?
You know what, Erica, this is a full circle moment for me because I've lived with endo my entire life. I've been singing my entire life. I started singing when I was 6. I started getting pain even prior to my cycles when I was 7 years old. And I started my cycles when I was 11. So this all goes hand in hand. Um, this is something that for me, I chose to, first of all, shout out to Endo Black Ink, okay? Shout out to Mrs. Lauren Cornegay for putting this together. Shout out to all of the endo sisters out there. Keep fighting your fight. I just had to throw that in there. But it's affected me and my career in so many ways. I've had to, go through shows in pain, popping different, again, the naproxens, like that's my thing. I've even had to do the CBD thing, and then I'm smelling like CBD walking in the building. I don't even smoke, but it helps, you know what I mean? So it's affected me in so many different ways, but I've just learned how to, again, just fight through the pain. I just hear that word so many times with endometriosis warriors, fighting, fighting, fighting. So I've been fighting since I was a little girl. And, with the music, it's been my therapy as well, without me even knowing that, I've always wanted to make an impact in people's lives. But the thing is, I never knew that my struggle would be the thing that would help to impact people's lives, along with even healing myself. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been a ride to say the least. But starting out, when I was 7, I would always, from what I can recall, just always in like just this nausea that I was feeling, you know what I mean? And even at that age, I'm looking back and I'm like, how did you deal with that? And I just thought that it was normal until I knew that it wasn't normal. I went to a private school in Southeast Washington, D.C. And it was a really, really small school. So we didn't have a playground, and we would walk across the street about a block or two away. And the teacher that we had, we have like a mother-daughter relationship. I love her to death. But I went up to her and I told her, I said, teacher so-and-so, I don't feel well. I was just really nauseous, and I can remember exactly what it smelled like. I remember what I felt like. I remember that day, it was in September. And, I just stood there, and she said, just go over there and play, go with everybody else and go play. And I said, I can't believe that she just didn't even ask me what was wrong with me. I went over to her again, maybe 2 minutes later. I said, I really don't feel well. Can I just go back to the school? Can someone take me back to the school? I feel like I'm just don't feel well. And she ignored me again. And then I believe I asked her one more time. She said, just 10 more minutes and we'll go back to the school. We're heading back to the school, and all I remember is everything was turning white. My lips started to go numb, and next thing I heard was, oh my gosh, she fainted. I woke up to paramedics and my parents at the school shaking their head, the teacher shaking her head and just saying, oh, well, she did say that she didn't feel good, but I didn't know, and da 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 da. I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed. And even at that age, like I said, I didn't even start getting my cycles yet, but these were just onset symptoms that occur with endometriosis. And, you know, from that moment on, at that young age, I just knew that I had to always be the person to advocate for myself. And I think that's what causes a lot of, for me, being an artist and a singer, you know, is something that a lot of people say, oh, it's just too hard to get into. But just like I said, everything goes hand in hand. And I feel like with the endometriosis and with my music career, it's made me to be this leader and this type of person that say, you know what, if you're not going to listen to me, there are many other people that will, because they're going through exactly what I'm going through. And I'm going to tell you about it. And trust me, they're going to come. People are going to come. And I have to, you know, advocate for myself. So long answer, but there you go.
Important. And what you're doing is extremely important. You are using your platform to raise awareness, because honestly, before I was diagnosed, I don't know that I'd ever heard of endometriosis.
Mm-hmm.
And then just hearing your story that you remember how things smell, that's trauma, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a level of trauma that you had to go through. And so just you using your platform or your kind of misery as a ministry is
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about business, but I do want to just pivot really quickly because we have all of our endo sisters here. And one of the things is even dating with endometriosis. What's that been like for you?
Dating?
Dating with endometriosis.
Well, you know, I'm engaged or whatever, you know. So I have to say, if you're in a relationship with someone that is that has endometriosis, you are one of the most patient. You have to be patient. You have to be, you know, as the partner, just kind of, yeah. I don't even know how he does it, but he, you know, we're in business together. We do everything together, and he has been my best friend. You know, he listens to what I have to say. You know, do you need me to rub your stomach? You need me to go get your heating pad, babe? So super, super, you need that support system. Prior to us getting engaged, you know, I would always be fearful to tell, you know, men that I would date that that I have, you know, this condition, and, you know, I don't feel well a lot of times, and I, you know, have irregular bleeding, and, you know, sometimes I may vomit, or, you know, just so many things that go with it. But luckily I found the right guy, and the right guy found me. And I think that's been a great part of my life and my journey. So
Well, shout out to
love you,
him.
babe.
Shout out to him.
Yes.
And so you art with your music, you're it's uplifting, and that's intentional. That feel good music that people really really need. And so with endometriosis, a lot of times we're talking about the physical effects of it, but we know that there are the mental anguish that can come from having endometriosis. What do you do to stay uplifted? Keep On is going to be one of the songs that's in my heavy rotation to uplift my spirit. But for you, what do you do? What do you listen to? What are some of your rituals? What keeps you going?
You know what? Thinking positive, Erica. I think that's the number one thing, you know, just kind of, I think with endo, a lot of times we develop this type of recluse behavior. You know, for me, I am okay with my own company. And I've just learned that, you know, I got to sometimes do a lot of things on my own because people don't, you know what I'm going through. So a lot of times I just kind of spend my time researching. I love looking up healthy meals and learning how to cook them. I might not cook them too good, but, you know, I do my best. I'm trying. During this pandemic, I've definitely learned how to cook a lot more, and I'm getting pretty okay. My family used to talk about me, but I'm okay. Yeah, so listening to positive music. I think, there's a time and a place for everything, but all of my music is positive. And, when we were creating my album, that was one thing that we said, like, what do we like to listen to? What uplifts us? So all of my music is positive. So I listen to other positive artists. Don't get me wrong. I like, the twerk music and, all that type of stuff. But that's definitely a big thing. Also, um, just doing the yoni steams. For me, yoni steaming hasn't really helped to heal with the pain that I have, but it's very therapeutic, and it's just that me time and that alone time where I get to reflect. And I love to look at women as yourself and Lauren and all of the other Endo warriors that are a part of this conference, and my friends and my family members that are doing amazing things, and looking at their stories and just kind of following what they're doing as well. So there's a little bit of everything that keeps me, grounded, and keeps that positivity flowing.
Yeah, yeah. And isn't it important to connect with other women who have endometriosis or other women having these type of physical pains? Like, it's so important.
Absolutely, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that is uplifting in itself. And so we know that this conference has a lot of we have a great lineup for the weekend, and
Mhm.
so it's going to be filled with Endo warriors, allies, supporters. If you have to say one message to leave the folks with, what would that be for
Mhm.
those sisters?
There are several messages, but I definitely have to say that, you know, sometimes when we're in the moment of anguish and pain, and, we get down on ourselves. And there's been times where I've asked, why me? Why did I have to be diagnosed with this? Why am I going through this for so long? Why have I been going through this for so long? You know, uh, what did I do? Sometimes you have to give yourself that grace. You have to give yourself permission to be human, and to say, these are the cards that I was dealt. This is the hand that I was dealt, and I just have to know how to play that hand. I have to know, that this is a part of me. Like, I always say my endometriosis is talking to me. It's like, hey, we got a party over here tomorrow. You coming? We got a party on the left ovary. We got a party in the chest. You coming? And you just have to say, all right, let me learn how to manage that. What works for me is what works for me. Whatever works for the next person, great. I'll listen and I'll try to learn and see if that works for me. But then whatever works for you, that's what's, important. So don't look at other people's situations and say, hey, it worked out for them and they're healed and they're not in pain. And then you get down on yourself. Give yourself that room and that space to be okay.
Yeah. I see people in the chat saying, give yourself grace. And that is so needed. So needed. So you have a new album coming out.
Yes.
Art
Yes.
exciting.
Yes.
And so what are you looking forward to this year? And does it have a release date just yet?
So we're looking to release the album Art Exhibit next year, 2022. We
Okay.
were going to do it this year, but because of the pandemic, of course, she done messed everything up. But yeah, so we're looking to put that out soon. I have a new single entitled Right Now that's coming out. We shot the video over the summer. We shot a couple of videos over the summer. So we're just rolling everything out. And of course, we'll be doing a couple of different benefits, and also those monies will be going to benefit Endo Black Inc. Specifically, as well as other endometriosis foundations. So I'm very excited about that, because I've been looking for something that's geared towards people that look like me. I don't feel so alone, and I'm just like, yes, I'm just so happy and I'm so excited about this. So that's that, and healing myself and healing other people through music, and yeah. positive messages.
Thank you. Well, we are so grateful for you. You're such a beautiful spirit. We are rooting for you.
Thank you so much.
All that you're doing. And it's great that you, as you mentioned, can heal yourself in the process of helping others. And so is there anything else that you like to add? I could talk to you all night, but
Girl, I feel the same way. uh,
trying to stick to the schedule. But is there anything else that you like to add, Art?
Follow me or whatever. I'm on social media. Art is worldwide. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. My name is Art Auré, so you can look me up if you want to see Good Times for the third time, as well as Keep On, the song that's going to be playing next. And yeah, just follow me and you'll see everything that we have rolling out. And thank you all so much for having me. This is amazing. Like, you have no idea. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for interviewing me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure. Art Auré, our Endo sister, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. Stay strong. Unmute yourself, Lauren. We can't hear you, girl.
Of course, the video. I was saying, I don't know if Erica mentioned it, but she went to Howard University.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to share that. Got some type of ties in there somewhere.
I mention it every chance I get for everything. I'm surprised it wasn't in my bio, but thank you, Lauren.
It is perfectly fine. No worries. So we're getting ready to play her song, Keep On. You've probably heard us play it a little bit over Instagram, but this is your first time being able to watch it and listen to it. Please let the words really take you and listen to it. If I need to play it again, let me know. But I really want us to take a moment. I've listened to the song over and over again myself. And honestly, what she was talking about how she just had to come up with something to get her through. This is that song. And it doesn't have to relate to endometriosis solely, but it can relate to so many other things as well. But I'm getting ready to play that song. So bear with me while I switch the screen.
I like those earrings too.
Oh, thank you, girl.
You're welcome.
Americans woke up to scenes of destruction once again today.
On Brazil's front line, the casualties are mounting horrifically.
30 million people out of work.
Tough times don't last long. You gotta keep on, keep on, keep on. You are much stronger than you know, you know, you know, you know. The sun doesn't shine all the time. Shining, shining. You gotta have the rain to help you grow. Every day is a battlefield. Feels like the world is after you. You gotta put your armor on. You will make it through. Tough times don't last long. You gotta keep on, keep on, keep on. You are much stronger than you know. You know, you know, you know. Tough times don't last long. You gotta keep on, keep on, keep on. You are much stronger than you know. You know, you know, you know. I know it's been crazy, but you can't lose the pride in what you have and who you are. Continue to fight. I know that it's worn you down. You gotta fight to survive. You are something special. Continue to show. Tough times don't last long. You gotta keep on, keep on, keep on. You are much stronger than you know. You know, you know, you know. Tough times don't last long. You gotta keep on, keep on, keep on. You are much stronger than you know.
Years changed, the decades go by, and the sad truth remains.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, I love the music. I love your personality. I love everything about you. So I just want to say thank you so much for your support, for wanting to contribute. And I didn't know that you were looking to donate. So thank you again for that as well. It's just so amazing that we can always connect somehow. And the fact is that you're, in DC, I'm in Maryland, so we are kind of close.
Yes.
But I just want to again say thank you so much for your support, and that we really need to focus on supporting each other. Please, please, please go follow her at Art is Worldwide on Twitter as well as Instagram. She is also on Facebook. She's also in our Endo support group. She also follows our Endo Black page. So definitely go support her stuff. Go share her stuff. The music is beautiful as is, and participate in the challenges that she puts out. So I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
And before we head out, again, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. For you who are watching on Facebook, and for those who are watching currently on the webinar, thank you, thank you. I just want to go over our schedule for the remainder of the week so that everybody knows what's going on. Tonight, I'm sorry, I was going to say tomorrow. Tonight we have Tia Moore. She's going to do TGIF with Tia at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow we will be having panel discussions back to back to back. How endometriosis affects motherhood. That's my endo brain right there. How endometriosis affects motherhood. That will be at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Endo advocacy will be at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Having a business with endometriosis will be at 3 p.m. tomorrow. And then health equity will be at 5 p.m. tomorrow. All of these will be at Eastern time. Also, the live recording of the VDOT podcast, it is the season finale with Samantha Dene, April Christina, and myself. That will be playing on Sunday, the 21st at 3 p.m. And to close out the conference, we have the State of Black Endo, which will be done by me at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. If you have any questions, please reach out to info@endoblack.org. Please follow, please support. If you want to learn more about Endo Black, you can go check us out at www.endoblack.org, or you can go ahead and check us out for our conference website that we've put together. Please, please, please check out our conference booklet. A lot of information is in there. So if you have any questions, you might be able to check that out at www.ourtableconference.com. Also, for those who have paid general admission and early bird tickets, you will be able to receive, if you have not already, check your emails. You have a digital swag bag that has information from Lila's Wellness, which is a discount code, Holistic by B, another discount code, Pretty Periods, also another discount code. You also will be able to receive an Endo cookbook as well as a guide to talk to your doctor by Rooted Soul. You'll also have some other amazing things included in that digital swag bag. Definitely check it out. We would love to hear your thoughts on it. But other than that, I want to say thank you all for tuning in. Again, if you have any questions, please let us know. You can reach out to us on our Instagram. Thank you so much. And I will see you all again at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with TGIF with Tia. Thank you.